peel the tape off so that it doesn't get stuck. There are many people who fabricate custom lampshades, and I had these craft paper shades made for about $20 a piece. And I have them in round, or for a twist, for something a little bit different, in a square proportion. And these are sitting atop a leather and chrome based lamp. So I am gonna take this square lampshade, and the wallpaper that I've put up in the room is this sort of caramel wide stripe. So I kind of wanna play off that and create a pattern for the lampshade. What I'm gonna do is, first step, you can run the stripes, the pattern on this lampshade however you want. You could do polka dots, you can do stripes. I would suggest using a low-tack painter's masking tape. You can also use, this is a watercolor tape, you can use that too. If you're working with a craft paper shade, the one thing I want to point out is that the texture of the shade, the fiber is a little bit raised. It almost has a more pulpy texture to it. So you want to make sure that you really are using a low-tack tape that won't end up pulling the fibers off when you pull the tape off. My thought for this lamp is that I want to do the stripes running horizontally instead of running vertically. And I'm going to take a measurement here of my shade, which is 10.5 inches, which means that I will need 4 bands that are 2 5/8 inches thick. And if you want to just make a tiny little mark with a pencil, I would suggest you can make it just on the edge. You don't want it to look like you've been drawing on these lampshades. 2 5/8. This is when I start my measuring again. 2 5/8. And then we'll move to the next corner. 2 5/8. So you've got your marks all the way around. You can start taping your shade. I want the top band to be a darker band, and this means that when you are using the tape, you have to account for the thickness of the tape. So that's my first stripe. Now for the second stripe, you want the tape to go on the inside. And then my last one. Okay, there we go. Now, just make sure that you have full coverage of your tape. We don't want that urethane seeping underneath. Now, as I mentioned, I'm using an oil-based satin finish urethane. And one thing that you'll always want to do when you're using urethane is use a stir stick, because it tends to settle and collect at the bottom. So it's really important to make sure you stir it first. And then you can use, I'm just going to use a foam brush because it's easy to get a straight line. And then you can see as soon as I start painting it, it really brings out the mottled texture in the craft paper. So just smooth it out. Make sure that you have no drips and no bubbles. And then you can peel the tape off so that it doesn't get stuck to your shade. Look at that. It is a stripy shade in rich craft paper that will pick up on all the accents in the room. It's easy and it's effective.